Hello there. This is an astrological forecast for Taurus for December of 2012. This also applies if you have a Taurus ascendant. So my dear Taurians, this month it's going to be your relationships as the major focus of the month. There's a bit on your finances and a bit on your work, but relationships are going to take probably front and center stage. It's time for you really to look at what you want in your relationships. I think many of you have been making too many compromises, somehow going along with things for a peaceful life. Because let's face it, Taurus, you don't particularly like arguments, you don't particularly like disputes. You'd rather tolerate and put up with something than create a fuss or an argument. And so there's possibly many of you, you're in relationships that are not really fulfilling you, not really emotionally giving you what you need. And maybe there's some changes to be made. Maybe there are some endings to relationships, especially with Saturn in this 7th house of relationship. The relationships that aren't making you happy, or where you feel controlled or limited, restricted in a relationship. These are things that need to be changed. Now, maybe you can make changes, or maybe these particular relationships, and these are intimate, could be a marriage, it could be a business relationship. They may need to end during this time. However, we do have Venus coming into your house of relationship for the first couple of weeks of this month. This brings to you the possibility of a love affair, a love relationship, a romance. Also enables you to smooth ruffled feathers in relationships. If a reconciliation, you would like a reconciliation with somebody, this would be a good time to have it in the first couple of weeks of the month. It's also a good time really to make sure that you're sticking up for yourself. Because as I said, tendency for you to back down. Make sure if it's important to you and it's an area in which you don't want to compromise, that you stick up for yourself and you don't allow things just to pass for the sake of peace. The last couple of weeks of the month, we've got a lot going on. Your house of joint finance, also the house of metaphysics, Venus there. So this could attract money to you from somebody else, from an organization, somebody wanting to give you money or help or sponsorship or a grant. And it could also mean for you an intense love situation, a very deep sexual chemistry that you experience with somebody. That very possibly can happen. It's also a wonderful time to do anything involving astrology, metaphysics, healing, all of these arts, Reiki, tarot. Wonderful time. If you're interested in that, this would be a great time to look into it more deeply. We've got a lot going on for the first 3 weeks of this month. We've got Mars into your 9th house, so this could mean some legal issues. It's also a wonderful time to learn something new, to teach something. It's very good for travel, for exploring places you've never been to before. Mars is very much a pioneer, gets bored with the same old, same old. Time maybe to get out of your rut, Taurus, and plan an exciting new trip to some distant land or distant place that you've not been to before, particularly from the 25th of the month. We've got Pluto there and the Sun there for some of this. Pluto's there a long time, the Sun earlier in the month. So could be some intense learning experiences in relationships. And you could also meet somebody from a long distance away with whom you have like an intense connection, almost like this feeling of a karmic soul connection. And it's a very deep feeling. Also, make sure that you feel as though you are in charge of situations. With Mars in that 9th house, it's a good time for you to do the teaching, for you to do the training, to tell other people what you think is important. With Jupiter in that 2nd house of finance, certainly money can be coming into you, Taurus. Yeah, Taurus, your sign actually rules money. So just need to watch that you're not being too extravagant, that you're not just suddenly spending on something impulsively. Not that you do normally, but I'm just drawing it to your attention, particularly this month, because we are coming up to the holiday season. But that Jupiter will also enable new opportunities to come in for you financially. So do keep that in mind, and also be aware that if you want to start a business or do something in business, that this would be a very good time to do that. So there you have it, my dear Taurians. Maybe you'd like to have a reading about what 2013 holds in store for you. Gosh, this year seems to have flown by. But very much, I think this coming year, we've got some very exciting aspects coming up, some interesting ones, some challenging ones, but also some very beneficial ones. And whatever it is, I'm always delighted to hear from you if you'd like to come for a reading. So I wish you all a very happy, healthy, and successful New Year. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.